Hello, hello. My name is Sharp Eyes,
And I am Crucifix.
and this is
We catch
where we cast.
your games.
Absolutely. Now, Chris Fix, how was your day today?
That's pretty good. Um, have you ever had a Marie Callender's Hot Pocket service?
I honestly, I've been to Memory Counters once,
Mm,
and
and
I left after seeing their overpriced menu. It was literally $16 for a French onion soup, and I was like,
wow, that is
okay.
nuts.
But
Okay,
nope.
well, I'm a connoisseur of not Marie Callender's restaurant, but Marie Callender's frozen dinners.
Ah,
Is what I
that's a
enjoy.
big difference.
Yeah. Now, I think I might have said Hot Pocket, but I meant to say Marie Callender's Chicken Pot Pie, because the Marie Callender's Chicken Pot Pie is is one of the best frozen dinners that you can ever buy ever.
Hmm.
And I'm actually eating one right now, and it has made my whole day. So if you can get over your allergy to every single food product, I think you'd enjoy it.
I will have to try to vaccinate myself sometime and try out the chicken pot pie from Marie Callender's.
Chicken bye bye. Sounds good.
Chicken bye bye. So Crucifix, you never answered my question.
Oh, my day is very good. How's your day been?
My day was filled with lots of
Joy and
upholstery
happiness? Oh, there you go.
and
Either one.
and popcorn.
Mm. Now, today I assume we are doing some coaching. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. Do you know who we are coaching today?
Well, I don't know right now, but we will find out in a second.
Okay.
Now, our coach, he actually tried to get in contact with us. I think he posted his info on nerdobraids.com. His name is Tyler, but we're trying to contact him right now, and it doesn't seem like he's
Mm.
online.
That happens. Some people have, maybe he got into a car accident. Who knows? But either way, he's gonna have to play StarCraft once he recovers. So let's get him ready.
Absolutely, let's pump him up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looking like he is a GA Tech Tail, the red Protoss, and let's see. Um, one second. Let me go ahead and read off what he posted here.
Okay.
Well, it says, I have a seriously hard time with PvZ. I almost never win to the point that I believe Zerg players are keeping me in silver, and I have no idea why. I know these are both PvP, but I thought I was going to win these matches and lost unexpectedly. So I was curious why that happened.
I see. So
So,
so basically, he's having issues with PVZ, but we're looking at PvP matches.
yeah, so I think that, it would have been a lot better with him here with us, since he could just play a game versus one of us. And
Hmm.
but since this is all we have to work it with, let's try to help him to the best of our ability.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to be able to find plenty of tips to give GA Tech Tail here, and so I think it's going to be great.
Sounds good. Sounds good. But the interesting thing is that PvP is actually a whole different ball game from PvZ. So
Mhm. But I think that as long as we concentrate on general tips on how he can improve his gameplay. Whoa, that's a lot of probes.
hmm.
I think that was a mistake.
So let's see. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 probes versus this pylon.
Versus the Bylon.
Hmm. So he's pretty afraid of a cannon rush here. Um,
Indeed. Pylon. Pylon canceled. Probe dead.
okay,
Okay,
so
well, I mean, it was a few. It might have been a couple too many probes, but at least you didn't get cannon rushed. So.
yeah, so usually you want to pull around 4 to 6 probes, but yeah, that wasn't too big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it looks like it is not going to be a fast expand build at all. Couple gateways going down.
Nope. In PvP, if you fast expand, you're asking to lose the game.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
never ever want to fast expand in PvP.
I see. The fact that I am a Terran player, so that the more you know.
The more you know,
Indeed.
indeed.
Okay. So your opponent right now is quite far behind. So let's figure out why you lost this game. You have put an expansion down now that you have gotten a double gateway with a cybernetic score up. I do like the build that you are going for. Sharp Eyes, what will happen to a Protoss player if they fast expand versus a Protoss player? Like what are they asking for, like a cannon rush or like a early DT or what?
Well, pretty much a fast expand will lose to one base pressure,
Oh, okay.
and one base pressure is the go-to tactic in PvP. You really want to stabilize on one base and then expand while attacking.
And an early gold base from our coachee here. Now the gold base on Neoplanet S, I feel is I usually don't think it's worth it, and the reason why is because it's so easy to spot. If you get gas at a gold base, it will be spotted just by a move command over to the natural of your opponent. That's how like easy it is to spot. If you don't get gas, it'll be a little harder. Um, but I find that especially if your opponent has any air units or anything like that, the gold base in the middle sometimes won't be worth it. But it is looking like you're getting a good bit of mining out of it. And so you know, because of that, I'm not gonna say it wasn't a good idea because it's looking like you're getting a lot out of it. And at this point, I feel like even if he found the base, it would have already been worth it. So good on you.
Oh wow, so it looks like he is calling us right now. So let's go ahead
Oh,
and add it
great.
to the group call.
Awesome.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
Hey.
I have been watching for a little while trying to figure out how to connect on Skype.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Like I feel like Skype is just they went out of their way to make it hard, like to
Oh,
to
I
connect
know, I know.
for
It's so
sure.
frustrating.
Yeah. But welcome to the call.
All right, yeah, thanks. I appreciate the coaching.
Now, has there been anything that you've seen so far that you wanted to make a comment on, or do you want us to just continue from here?
I mean, really, like it was a pretty standard game for me. I saw that he was forward fast expanding and had like no military at all, so I was like, well, might as well grab the gold. Figured
Mm-hmm.
even if I lost it, I still would have a gain. And actually, I gained a lot from it. He never scouted it until like the end of the game when I just suddenly I got crushed. And
Mm.
I don't really know, like maybe it was composition or something, but I just lost very rapidly.
Okay. Well, um, the one thing I would say, like for right now, like already that I see is that you have 3,000 minerals. Like that's like number one.
Yeah.
I mean you do have a lot of gateways, um, and you have three robotics facilities. But when you grab the gold base, you have to
Hmm.
be prepared for how much more mineral you're gonna get. Like
Yeah.
when you grab the gold base, like you're not, like no one is used to getting that much mineral from three base, and three base is already hard to spend your mineral on because three bases always feels a lot more than two bases because you're not building
Hmm.
your production buildings anymore. You're not really building your gateways as much. You're not building your upgrade facilities as much. You're only building units. And so when you build a third base, it's always going to feel like you can't spend your minerals as well as you could before.
Yeah.
I do
And I
like
think,
how, yeah,
yeah.
I do like how you're building tons more gateways now.
I noticed, I was like, oh crap, I have 3,000 minerals.
Yeah.
Like,
So just like in the
yeah.
future, if you when you do take a third base, I would recommend taking your third and building production at the same time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, and also I noticed that your gas count is actually very, very low compared to your mineral count. And so, for future reference, I think that like Protoss really needs to get gas unless they're going for a two base all in, which you were not doing in this game.
Yeah.
So, what I would recommend is if you are going for two base all in, then just stick with your two gas initially, and then push with two bases. But if you're not, get your gases as soon as you can. So
Mhm.
Okay.
for every base that you build, you must get the gases as a priority.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Okay.
you
Yeah, I didn't know
you
that.
yeah, you built the gases here. I think you forgot to put probes on them. Was just the main issue. Because you built your the gases at your natural, but you still have 0 out of 3 on both of them. So and then the enriched gas you do have, so that's that's good. Um, but make sure that you have fully saturated gases on all your bases if you're not going for a two base all in.
Okay.
And one more thing, I noticed that you don't really use your chrono boost at all. Um,
Mm.
Mm.
I think it is kind of hard to remember. So what I would suggest is to make a mental note to yourself. Um, pretty much almost every time you're upgrading something, like let's say +1/+1, or a Colossi range or something,
Yeah.
just always focus on getting that
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you're having trouble using your chrono boost, like I think what you could do is at first go ahead and use it on anything. Like it doesn't even matter. Like use it on your gateways, use it on your forges, use it on your robotics facilities. Like literally use it on anything. And then once you get used to using it all the time, it'll be a lot easier to use it on like specific things. Because a lot of people, I feel like they're like, oh, I don't want to use it right now because I want to use it on my gateways or my forges specifically, but then they forget about it again, and then it just keeps building up. So what I would say is like for right now, just use your chrono boost on everything. Hit that 3 button, and then just chrono boost like everything. And then once you get used to using chrono boost a lot, then you can specify like certain things you want to use it on.
Okay. And a bunch of carriers pop here, which is just a huge surprise. And I know I don't scout enough. That's something that I feel like
Right.
is completely not practiced.
One thing like with Protoss specifically is like I feel like even one um sorry, even one um shoot, what's it called? It makes shields. uh it makes
Oh,
shield.
Sentry.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
one
Sorry,
century
I
is
was trying to pick
like
up.
yeah, I like that was dumb. I guess it's because you don't have a robotics bay is probably why you didn't make one. But even one century is really good because Phoenix is like invaluable for scouting information, and it's so easy because it's completely indisposable.
Mm-hmm.
Making a hallucinated Phoenix is like you don't even have to watch it. You just have to like shift command it around their base, and then if it didn't make it all the way, you can just make another one and then do it the other direction.
Yeah.
So like I would recommend maybe you do have extra mineral and gas right now. So there's no reason not to make like a robotics bay.
Well,
Make it.
well, you don't really need a robotics bay
Oh, you
to make a
don't? I don't.
sentry.
Yeah, I don't
No,
really
you need a
know.
gateway. It's a gateway
Oh,
unit.
it is a
Yeah.
gateway. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Now I feel like an idiot. But
I
yeah,
wasn't
just
gonna say anything.
yeah, but make a just yeah. I would say at least one sentry is definitely always worth it because a hallucinated phoenix is like such a powerful scouting tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right here, when you first saw these carriers, what was going through your mind?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Mostly. I was not prepared for them. My first thought was Void Rays. So I went back. I was like, man, I'm glad I built those starports, and started producing Void Rays, but they didn't pop fast enough. And like I got a few of them out, and the carriers just mowed them down.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Well, yeah. I think the main issue was your army composition is like the worst possible versus carriers. Like
Yeah.
it's immortal zealot almost completely. And you do good damage. Like you take his out as natural, but I felt like you committed too hard. Like you should have pulled back as soon as you saw the carriers in the first place.
Yeah, so
Because
Mm.
so so right
yeah,
here, you should have just got these stalkers over here and pulled back. So
hmm
because like right now these stalkers are just gonna get melted by these carriers.
yeah. Like right now, like your whole army is completely ineffective versus his. And so, like as soon as you moved into his base and saw the carriers, you want to establish a defensive post because you can probably defend your base against whatever he's got. Um, if he moves his carriers over to you, carriers are very slow. You probably could pop out enough stalkers and enough void rays by the time he got over to your base to to defend what you have. But the fact that you're still pushing him means that he gets to kill your whole army. And so now
Mm.
he's in like an infinitely better position than he would have been if you had just pulled back. And so
Yeah.
I think that would have been like even if you found your gold base, like you still got so much use out of it. You've basically mined it out by now. So it doesn't even matter if he finds it at this point. So like I would have pulled back and then taken an expansion maybe, and then just started pumping out units that were specifically anti-carrier.
Yeah, and also at Silver League, like you could probably even take a fourth base and then use that primarily for gas. Because I think that if you would have had a little bit more gas here, you would have been in a much better position. So going back to prioritizing gas and also
Mhm.
possibly getting a fourth base
Yeah,
just to get the extra gas.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you're spending your gas really well. Like you're spending every ounce of gas you have, and so what that tells me is that the reason your minerals are high is because your gas is low. And so, yeah, like you know, if you find yourself like strangled like that in resources, you have no reason not to take an expansion right now because he hasn't even shown an ounce of pressure towards your base.
Yeah.
And so, and especially because you've now mined out all your gold, and so your probes are just stagnant. Um, I don't know what your key is set to, but I make it a habit to press Control F1. Is what the default is for inactive harvesters. I switched it to tilde. But in any case, if you press Control and then the hotkey for inactive harvesters, it'll select every inactive harvester you have, and then you can reassign them to do tasks that are
Mhm.
more productive than not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
at this point, it's very hard because there's so
Yeah.
many like once like a Protoss has this many carriers on the field, it's just too late.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna lose. And so that's why we recommended as soon as you saw them to develop a defensive pose instead of an offensive pose because your entire army composition was not based on carriers at all. It was based on
Yeah.
the opposite. So yeah, just like reactionary play would have won you that game because I mean it takes so much to get carriers out that early, right? And so
Yeah.
if you're able to pull back to your base and defend and then pump out units that counter carriers, you're going to be in a position where you have this huge ground army and now you have a huge air army as well. So you're just going to win. Like that's
Okay.
probably what would have won you that game.
Okay.
Yep,
That's
yep.
fair.
Now,
That's fair.
would you want to play a PvZ, or would you want us to continue on with the next replay that you submitted?
I mean, that's up to you guys. If you guys, I mean, I suppose. I
Well,
can play.
it's just whatever you think you're going to get more help out of. Do you think that next replay is something? Do you think that next replay is super super important where there's elements in there that you really want to get looked at, or do you think a PVZ would help you more? So like that's why we wanted.
Probably a PVZ. Like I got so frustrated that one of my friends talked me into playing a Zerg like the past 2 days
Oh, okay,
because
yeah, let's yeah. I know what you mean. As a Terran player, like playing Zerg is like so frustrating, and I feel like everyone on ladder is Zerg for some reason.
yeah.
But
Oh my gosh, it just kills me.
yeah, but I think that's a really good idea, and luckily we have a very good Zerg player on our team, so let's do it.
I
Okay,
was
so
thinking,
how do I do that? I have no idea how we're
Oh,
gonna.
we'll
oh,
just invite. Oh, well, we
yes,
just have to add you in StarCraft.
yeah. So
Okay.
go ahead and send me a Skype message with your battle tag, and then we will add you into the party.
So it's your name plus the numbers.
Okay.
Uh,
Where do I find that? I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm
no, I
usually
know what
like
you mean. Yeah,
I'm only friends with people I know online, so it's like
Okay. What is the email address that you use to register the account?
oh it would
you can
be
just
Tyler. Here, I'll just type it
you
in.
can type it if you'd like. It's up to you.
So Crucifix, I was thinking you can play Zerg,
Yeah, I don't
and
think so. I would actually lose because I've played Zerg so little. Like I'm like one time I tried to play Zerg with Sharp Eyes in a 2v2 and I made like I don't know, it was embarrassing. Like I don't even want to but I do not play Zerg at all. Sharp Eyes though is a high diamond Zerg, so I think it's going to be fine there.
Okay. Well, I anticipate being crushed quite
No,
easily.
no. That's like we're assuming that you're going to lose. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. But what we want is to like experience firsthand your gameplay and then be able to analyze it in a like even deeper than we can with just a replay.
we must go
So I'll
deeper.
pretend you want a diamond plate
We
then.
must go deeper. Yeah, but if you win though, that's even cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to get the rock salt because hell froze over.
Okay, let's do it.
Alright, so I've added Tyler. There you go.
Yes.
Awesome.
So what is or do you have a map preference at all?
I mean, not really. I know the Star Station. I hate like with the burning passion of 1,000 suns. I can't stand that map. But other than that, most of them are pretty fine.
How does Akalon Way sound?
That sounds good to me.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back while you guys get that set up.
Okay. So I guess we need Crucifix back to launch the game.
I suppose so.
So let's do a quick interview here.
Okay.
So do you only play Protoss, or do you play the other races as well?
I have tried to play Terran, and I'm really bad at it. Like I don't know what it is about that race, but I just can't do it. And Zerg I play as well. I actually really like Zerg. Protoss is just cooler because aliens and technology is neat. But Zerg I'm actually a little bit better at, I think. I've been doing pretty well with Zerg the past couple days, but I want to be better at Protoss because I like it more.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yes. Crucifix, are you back?
I am.
Yeah. So our friend Tyler here says that he has tried out Terran, but something about it's just too much for him.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah,
I've tried Protoss as well, and for some reason like it's kind of the same way. Like I feel like I'm just not. It just doesn't click for me.
Yeah. I played well, I'll use the word played loosely, but I played Protoss when I played Brood Wars, but I was like 11, so it was a long time ago.
I know what you mean. It's like when I played Diablo 1 and I thought like I was super good because like I was like killing like I was better than like the normal AI like but you can't blame an 11-year-old for thinking he's He's the best around.
Total boss.
Uh-huh. Meanwhile,
I
Sharp Eyes over here was like writing strategy guides for the Pokemon trading card game.
sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
Oh, I played Pokemon way too much as a kid.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Crucifix, go ahead and do a little bit of live coaching.
Okay, so basically the way this is going to work is Sharp Eyes over there is at an advantage because he's in a higher league than you, and so to try to close the advantage slightly, I'm going to just kind of coach you. I'm just going to like give you tips as you play. You can
Okay.
choose. You can choose to take them or to not do them, depending on how you would. Like, I don't want you to feel pressured to do anything that I say. I want you to play as you'd like.
Okay.
If I do something that you don't want to do, I will not be offended, or will I think that you're doing something wrong by not taking my advice. I'm going to give you general tips, and then you can choose to do or not do what I recommend.
Fair enough.
Sharp Eyes will most likely be concentrating on his own gameplay, and it usually works out very well that it doesn't really matter what I say. Sharp Eyes will do the same, whatever he was going to do in any case.
Alrighty.
Okay. Like your opening, very normal.
Yeah. It's what I typically do against Zerg.
Yeah.
I would like to learn to actually do the Sentry Immortal all in, but every time I've tried to do it, I've failed miserably. I've been like 30 seconds late, and it's
Right.
just not good.
Right.
So I usually avoid that.
Yeah. There's this there's this arcade situation. What you can do that allows you to practice a build order over and over again. It's called Monkey Bot, and so like all you have to do is type restart, and then you can restart and try your build order again, and then eventually you could just get it perfect.
Well, that's not very nice.
Yeah.
You go home now.
Yeah. Harassment is like my number one pet peeve.
I can't stand it. And I'm just, I'm a silver. I'm so bad at multitasking.
Yeah,
It's not good.
Yeah, just ignore that at that point. It's over.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Move on with your life. Especially since it's at your natural gas, it really doesn't even matter. All that it means is that he's going to have some vision for a while. And if he doesn't cancel, he commits the minerals. So
That's true. Figured I would grab that just in case.
yeah. Like it's not a big deal, but like the probe that's building your gas usually wants to go mine minerals while it's building, but now
Really?
it doesn't. Now it doesn't even matter. Go ahead and use your. Well, okay, actually, you're right. Like that Zilch should be blocking the wall. But once you get an actual army unit, you're going to want to start hacking away at that assimilator.
Okay.
But, Bob there is doing a good job blocking the wall.
Alrighty.
I like how you've rallied your main over to your natural. That's good.
Okay.
Sharp eyes. I like that you have 19 overlords. Sorry, I like how you have
19 overlords.
19 ultralisks on the field already. That's good.
That's
No,
not
no,
good.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's a good thing. I'm glad you're kidding.
That was a joke. That'd be
It's
pretty
like,
rough.
well, GG. Aw.
You might consider researching Warpgate.
Oh my god. I cannot believe this is what I get for playing Zerg for 2 days. I cannot
Okay.
believe I forgot to research Warcade. Oh man. Thank you.
Yep. Keep using that chrono boost whenever you can.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. Oh,
Make a few more pylons.
dang it. I forgot I had a base up here.
Uh-oh. But yeah, just make sure you pull, just make sure you don't overcommit, but at the same time, don't undercommit. Medium commit.
Medium committed, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You are supply blocks. It looks like, not anymore.
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily. Go ahead and
Those hymens. Okay.
get your next upgrade. Don't be afraid to get a little bit of map control.
Oh yeah.
and
I'm bad at map control.
yeah, me too. This would probably be a good time to take third base if you'd like.
Alright. No, leave.
I think you should be producing out of your gateways. Um, they're mostly all off cooldown, so be a good time.
Yeah, I could say that it would indeed be a good time as my whole army falls to his.
Yeah, like I think one of your main issues here was
My mineral count was extremely high.
yeah, it's just you had the production, like you did a good job increasing your production as you expanded, but you didn't produce off of that production like as often as you could have.
Yeah.
And like your gateways aren't hotkeyed. I guess it doesn't really matter because you can just press Control W, but
Yeah.
but like still like all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your gateways in your main are off cooldown, and like you're still not making units. So like making units out of the production you have available is oh well now they're off. Okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong tab, but like making units off the production you have available is like the most important thing you can do.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't overcommit here. Yep, good job.
Why did they go there? Oh, those are mutilisks. I lose. That's
Yeah, like if you ever find the Zerg leaving you alone for a while, the first thing you should assume is that they're gonna come at you with
mutilisks.
mutalisks. Yeah, it's just like, why wouldn't a Zerg make mutalisks? They're just so good. Like,
Yeah,
if
it's
I
true.
was a Zerg player, like all I would do is make mutalisk all day, mutalisk and Bailings, and then that's all I'd make.
Sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, probably.
Where did they go? Oh no. There they are.
Yummy probes.
Yum.
Yum.
They move so fast.
Yeah, they're fast. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Like you
just
really need
unfortunate.
like if you like you really need phoenixes and cannons to photon cannons like to deal with mutants.
Yeah, which I don't have.
Yeah. Bzzz.
Yeah. How unfortunate.
But once the stalkers are taken out, it's basically GG.
Yep.
Well, it's actually kind of a stalemate because all the mutes are gonna die. Well, yeah. I think you actually won that battle. Make sure you're making probes because you don't have many.
Oh yeah, they all got killed. I forgot about that. Uh,
Uh-oh.
oh dear, that's not good. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Now
man.
is when you want to move in your secret army of immortals that you have.
Yeah, yes, all 30 of them.
All 30, yeah.
Or 3 stalkers. That also.
Yeah, either one.
Okay, well,
Hero Stalker.
totally not gonna save me. Okay. Welp, I have no minerals, or no, almost no resources, and a lot of ultralisks in my face. I think that's GG.
Yeah, I do too. But basically, yeah. So,
And a bunch of
for
mutalisks.
you can do it.
No. Alright.
Alright, so let's go ahead and watch that as a party, and then let's go ahead and do some deep analysis.
Deep, 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 deep now.
We must go deeper.
Yes.
They're just transition so seamlessly. There's nothing. Oh, it's not fair.
Yeah.
You
Well,
build
like,
one production and you can build all of everything. Like, it makes me so sad. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
build 30 starports to produce a bunch of things. Like,
yeah, it's like
just build a spire and you have tons and tons of this.
playing Zerg is so different, like than the other races. Like without the larva inject, like Zerg is so macro intensive. Like if you don't play Zerg correctly, because we've coached a lot of Zergs since we've started, and a Zerg that's played incorrectly is so much worse than a Zerg that's played correctly. And if you don't do the larva injects and you don't build the production buildings when you're supposed to, and you don't do any creep spread, then and like your army composition is terrible. Like Zerg is the easiest race to beat, but if Zerg is played correctly, then it turns into the hardest race to beat. So it's like depending on the person, it can be very different. And so I know what you mean. How it feels like no matter what I do as a Terran player, like Zerg always has the answer ready to go. But
Yeah.
but like when you get used to anticipating the Zerg player, like it gets a lot easier. And I think one of your main issues is like on top of not using your production as often as you could, like the fact that you play in the dark most of the time is like your biggest issue. Like the fact that you have no idea what's going on until you get attacked, like that, like it's so hard to deal with that kind of play um, because if you're just kind of waiting to be assaulted, like you're going to lose because it's basically saying I'm gonna wait until the other player is ready, and that's never what you want to do. You want to attack them at a point where they're not ready, and
Yes.
so
Yeah.
and so like you let Sharp Eyes just do whatever he wanted, and look how like he already has a third
Yeah,
base.
he went for 3 expansions right away.
Right, he already has a third base ready to go. Like the fact that you let him get away with this is why you lost. Like you've almost already lost the game because you're playing a good player like Sharpeyes, and so like the fact that you play in the blind is probably the reason you lose to Zerg so often. Is because if a player plays greedy like this, and they get away with it, then that's like the key to winning for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but honestly, even if the Zerg player has 30 bases, a 2 base Protoss, if played properly, can still trade pretty effectively with the Zerg. So, but also, I mean, at a silver level, like, how many Zergs do you see that actually play extra greedy like this?
I not as many.
Not as
Oh,
many.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but it's not all of them. You know what I mean? There's There's
Like,
some of them in like I don't know. It's a
yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like in the lower leagues, like for me, it feels like the lower league players either play extremely passively, where they go one base, or they play extremely greedy, where they go like three, like
Mhm.
maybe even four, like four, like. But I would say that your main issue, like one of your main issues, is how passive you are. Like if Sharp Eyes had never hit you, I don't think you would have moved out until like the 20-minute mark, because it's already 10 minutes and you really haven't done too much, you know. Um, I
yeah.
would say I
I
would
agree.
say
That's a
like
huge problem.
I would say like your biggest, like one of the things that you could do the most is to at least move out on the map a little bit, because as it is right now, your army is about the same as Sharp Eyes is. Like he has a few roaches, he has a few hydras, you have a good number of stalkers and some sentries and some zealots. I would say you guys are dead even as far as army comp goes. And when he tries to attack you, you're able to fend him off very easily. He's like, okay, I can't take that army. I'm gonna back off. Um,
Yeah.
and so like I think you just need to be less afraid to move out of your base a little bit. Like especially right now, now that you did that last warp in, you have a bunch of stalkers, you have a immortal out. Go ahead and move to the edge of his creep spread and get an observer out eventually and start denying that creep spread. And then eventually he's going to have to engage you. You're going to force him to engage you because you're making it so he can't creep spread, which is so
Yeah.
important for a Zerg player. And so, like, instead of just letting him do whatever he wants, you're forcing him to engage you in a battle that maybe he won't win. But if you wait for him to engage you, if you wait for him to come to your base, he's going to come to your base with an army that he is sure that's going to win. And so
Yeah.
then you're just asking to lose at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so usually the Protoss actually wants to take a third base pretty early. Um, Ideally at a master level that's 8 minutes, but I think for the Silver League maybe 8 to 10 minutes would be pretty
Yeah.
good.
I don't even like I feel like as long as you're taking a third by 10 to 12 minutes, you're going to have your opponent at Silver League. Most Silver League players don't even take a third base. But if you're doing upgrades and you're taking a third base, as long as you're spending your minerals, you're gonna beat almost every Silver League player you're playing. Um, as long as you're not playing, as passive as you are now.
Yeah.
And at this point,
See,
you
I
know,
just yeah.
it's like
Um,
it's like 4 base to 3 2, so it doesn't even like it's not gonna happen.
Well, like right now, like I'm only mining off of 3 bases,
Oh, okay.
so it's 3 base to
it's
two.
just a bunch of production, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that base count is good.
But like, yeah, it's just, and also it's like you're very heavy on gateway units, and kind of light on any tier 2 to tier 3 units. Like now is when you're getting out your colossi, and he's already taken out your third base, like basically denied it and your natural, and so it's just like a little, it's like too little, too late, you know. I
Mhm.
felt like you were putting your tech buildings like developing your tech you put as a very high priority, and then once you got them all and you were able to start making those units, um, like you're like, okay, I feel like I'm okay now, but by that time it was just too late and the Zerg player had already taken 5 bases or 4 bases. And
Yeah.
so if you just deny some by this time his creep is almost all the way to your base, so like I feel like if you develop map control more, move to the edge of the Zerg's creep, at the 10-minute mark when you're taking your third base, you're going to find yourself in a way better position, because even if something happens to that army that you have over there, at least you can react to it instead of not being able to react to it until it shows up at your front doorstep.
Yeah,
Like ultras.
so
Well,
let's go ahead and rewind here down to 10 minutes, And then let me show you what's a good window to attack. So let's see.
Yeah.
Um,
My friends, because I play like 2v2s and 3v3s with my other friends who play StarCraft,
Right.
and they always tell me that I'm bad at map control, but I don't know what it means to be good at map control. I
Oh,
have
okay.
no idea what the heck they're talking
Yeah.
about.
No, that's actually. I'm
Just like
glad
I
you said
know
that. Yeah.
controlling the map, yeah, but like
Yeah, no, I'm glad you
how?
said that. Basically, all that means, like when someone says map control, all that means is knowing what's going on, like on the map. So, like basically, what that means is getting out 3 or 4 observers and sending them the areas on the map where you don't know what's going on. So, like getting like an observer out or getting a zealot out or something and putting it in areas where you have no vision. Because like right now, if I look at your vision specifically, the only thing you can see is your base, your natural, and a thin strip from your base to his base. So you have no idea what's going on all the other mining bases on the entire map. Now,
Mm,
if you have observers out, if you have zealots out, just cheap units that you can sacrifice in case they get caught. But if you have those out on the map, and you have them at the Zelnaga watchtowers and then anywhere else you can't see, that means that whenever something happens in an area, whenever your opponent does something in an area, you'll know about it. So when they take their third base, you're gonna know about it because they have to kill your zealot before they can take it.
yeah.
Does that make
Okay.
sense? So
Okay.
like
That
so like
helps.
if you send like the earliest form of map control is just to have like an observer like on the edge of the main and the third. And so that way you can tell when you can kind of tell what they're doing in their main and you can tell when they're taking their third. And that observer is going to stay there until they notice it and until they have um,
An
detection.
overseer.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and until they have detection. So like just knowing what's going on is what map control means. So yeah, so like Terran will do it with Widow Mines, Zerg will do it with Overlords, and then usually Protoss does it with Overseers and just Zealots and stuff like that.
Yep, yep. So
Okay.
back to what I was saying about early aggro. I think that if you would have moved out right here, like Crucifix said, to the edge of my creep at the very least, you could try to force some pressure onto the Zerg player instead of just sitting back there and then letting the Zerg player do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, yeah, like right here, you have a pretty solid army, but you didn't move out with it, and then eventually he was able to just build up like some terrible death force. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and exit this replay.
sweet.
So it looks like we have 8 minutes left, roughly.
All right.
Sounds good.
Crucifix. Did you want to go on to the 6 points?
We're doing this new thing. We used to do 10 tips, but it was a little excessive. So now we're doing 6 sexy tips to better gameplay. And
All right.
they're very sexy. I would say the first sexy tip is to sexily take map control. Make sure that just as we were saying, make sure that you get a couple of serves out. Know when the opponent takes his third base. Know where his creep spread is going. Know when he comes. Know when he's pushing out to attack you, so that you have some time to react instead of reacting like after he's already at your base.
Okay,
Okay.
sexy tip number 2. Um, I noticed that your Chrono Boost abilities are lacking a little bit. So what I would do to start getting that ingrained into your pattern is whenever you build a probe, Chrono Boost it. That's it.
Yeah, like just like use your chrono boost a lot, like on anything, and then once you are used to using it a lot, start using it specifically. But
Okay.
at least use it, just at least use it every chance you get until then, until you're able to start using it specifically.
Yeah, cause like part of the main reason why lower leaguers don't really use Chrono Boost is that they're not clicking on their Nexus enough, or clicking the hotkey enough. So um, my proposal was that every time you make a probe, you're forced to click on the Nexus, to make a probe.
Yeah,
So why not probe Chrono Boost?
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Number three, I think you should get your hotkeys. I think you should practice using your hotkeys as much as you can. Hotkeys are very important, and they are a lot of times the difference between silver and gold league. So, um, if you're able to get yourself into a macro pattern where you're hitting, okay, you hit your next hotkey, you make probes and chrono boost. You hit your production hotkey, you make all your army units, and then you look at your minerals and your gas and your supply, and then you look at what you need to improve on. So you do all three of those things in a circular pattern. So you make probes, you make army, you look at your minerals and everything, and you just do that in like a circular pattern. And when you get into the habit of doing that, you're gonna find that you're always doing something. You're never gonna be in a position where you're not doing anything and just watching. Like when you're never just gonna be watching the game. You're always gonna be either making probes, making an army, looking at your minerals and stuff, or microing. And microing should be the lowest in the priority, but it shouldn't be completely ignored.
Okay.
Yeah. Point number four. When in doubt versus Zerg, make Dark Templars. So so
Or anyone really.
so pretty much the lower leaguers, especially Zerg and Terran, they don't seem to get enough detection, and so if you're playing from behind, just warp in some DTs and then just do some work with it.
Win
Um,
behind Dark Shrine. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
a lot of people don't expect it, and it's a relatively, a safe investment because you're going down the tech tree for High Templar as well.
A lot of times, warping in dark Templars by themselves in your enemy base, it can be very devastating. But at the same time, if they're ready for it, it can be a waste. But if you warp Dark Templar in and you use them in your main army, a lot of times your opponent won't realize it until it's too late. Like they won't realize you have Dark Templar mixed into your main army until they've lost way more than they should have. And they'll be like, "Wait,
Yeah.
why did I lose that battle so hard?" And they're going to be like, "Oh no, it's because of Dark Templar." But by that time, it's just like it's just too late. And
Yeah.
like as a Terran player, like I've gotten used to just listening for the swish sound, and that's the only way I can tell like that there's Dark Templar like hitting me. And but like a lot of players, they won't. A lot of players don't even have the game sound on. They just have their own music playing, and so um, yeah, I would recommend if like in addition to warping them into your opponent's base, also incorporate them into your main army because they can win you a battle.
Okay. I'll be honest. I don't use the Templar enough. I know I don't.
Yeah,
Like my friends have all called me out on it because I never have High Templar, even when I'm up against Terrans, and they're
yeah,
so good against Terran bio, uh, unless somebody reminds me to build them.
yeah.
But how good are Archons? Like, is it worth investing like in
Well, that's
Archons?
the thing is like that's actually what I was going to say in point five was that High Templar. Like with Protoss has one of the easiest like high units to use. Like a Terran, ghosts are very hard to use because the snipe ability has to be clicked on a single unit, and it's just really hard to micro. And then a Zerg, like infestors are kind of their their equivalent unit, and infestors are the same way. They kind of have to micro those. But with a Protoss player, High Templar are very easy to use. Storm is very easy. It's just a circle. Like it's just a circle, and you click it on a bunch of opponent units.
And
So
feedback is also very easy, and it'll one shot most dropships.
yeah, you use it. You can use feedback versus Terran medevacs, and it'll most of the time it'll kill a dropship in a one shot. And so
Wow.
what I would recommend is making high Templar. If you're out of energy, making Archon, because the splash damage that an Archon does is extremely effective. Like it's very worth it, like for sure.
Okay.
So like Archons are so good because even after they're out of energy, after they kill a billion units with their storm and feedbacks, they can now become an Archon, which is also extremely good. And so I would definitely recommend trying to incorporate Archons into your play.
Okay.
So I think it's point 0.6 for you, Sharp Eyes.
0.6. Give me a second to think about this.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Right. So 0.6. Try to stick to one tactic and then execute it well, and pretty much you want to either two base all in or try to stabilize on three bases, and you know pick try both out, find some build orders, and then try both, and then see whichever one you're more comfortable with, and then go ahead and practice that until you can beat every Zerg player out there.
Okay.
Yeah, like when I first started playing, I would get into a custom game and then I would practice a build order over and over and over and over and over again until I was good for at least the first 8 to 10 minutes. And then once I was good for that like beginning period of time, it allowed me to just branch out into doing anything I wanted. And so like if your early game is good, then you're gonna find that the mid game and late game is infinitely easier. But if your early game is bad, then you're just kind of asking to lose the rest of the game because the early game is the most important part of the whole game. And if you can practice your early game until you're good for the first 7 to 10 minutes, you're gonna find that like it's gonna be a lot easier for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Yep. And crucifix point number 7.
Um, if you enjoyed today's lesson or if you hated it with a burning passion, give us a review on nerdupgrades.com because it would really help us out. And it helps us to continue coaching every day for everyone out there. So if you just whatever comments you have, just go ahead and shoot and stick them up there on nerdupgrades.com, NUDC. That would be great.
All right. Will do.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
peace.
Well, once again, my name is Sharp Eyes,
And I am Crucifix.
and
All
this
right.
is
This is Tyler Albright.
Yes.
and until next time, everyone,
Keep on playing.
keep on playing.